Okay, good morning. One technical thing before we begin. I'm holding my phone and it's pointed at my iPad. I lost my movie making capability. They want me to pay for it. I'm a cheap guy, so I won't do that. So I went ahead and put the information on my iPad using PowerPoint, and I'm just recording the information. So I got about 7 or 8 slides to go through here, and we're going to debunk and have a question for the National Weather Service on this short presentation concerning the lies or misinformation, whichever way you want to go on that, coming from the National Weather Service in Las Vegas. So there are 3 false claims that we're going to review here. Okay, the first is a record 5th consecutive day over 115 degrees in Las Vegas. And number 2, from the National Weather Service, their X tweet, Las Vegas hit 120, record shattered on July 7th. And number 3 is from this meteorologist who states that this is the most extreme heat wave in recorded history. And he puts, if you look at the underlined here, since 1937 when records began. And this gentleman's name is John Adair. I have a question for John at the end of this. Okay, so if you go to the database that John Adair uses, this is the National Weather Service database. It's public access. Anybody can access the site. You enter XMASIS2, put a 2 after it, and it'll bring up the database. Now, within the database for Las Vegas, I have 3 circled blue thumbtacks. And all the blue thumbtacks are weather offices. And not all of them are active, but we're going to take a look at the ones that are as they relate to these false claims. So since records began in 1937 is the upper right circle, and that's at the old Weather Bureau office. And it was active 1937 to 1948. And then we have below that Sunrise Manor, and that was active 1948 to 1989. And then on the bottom, you have the current weather station at the International Airport, and that's been operational since 1951. Okay, this is the old Weather Bureau office. And again, it was active 1937 to 1948. This is just to show that it was an active office. And their highest recorded temperature was 117. And this is the record today that they're talking about. This is at the International Airport. And you can see on the far right in the red line where the blue dot intersects is 120. And that's what they're getting all excited about. But if you look at the trend, you can clearly see this is a heat wave. Heat waves are anomalies. Okay, this is the station that breaks all the records. This is the one that's located between those locations, Sunrise Manor, Las Vegas. And again, it was active 1948 to 1989. If you notice the dates here, that's just the dates that I'm analyzing here. So we can see that on 4 occasions, it was 120 or greater. And on the far right in 1983, it reached 122. Now, a lot of people say, well, it's been hotter. It's been 128, it's been 130. Well, maybe your outdoor backyard or your car is telling you that. But these are the official records. And that's what we have to go by here. We can't go by forecast. You got to go by what is documented. Okay, so now we're going to compare the International Airport on the left. This is the highest max temperature. And Sunrise Manor, their highest max temperature during the same time period. And what is this going to do for us? Well, if we look at the max temps 1951 to 1983 and we average all those totals, you can see that Sunrise Manor, that location was on average 4 degrees hotter than the International Airport location. So it's steady, it's consistent. There's no anomalies here. And it does have missing counts over here, but those only mean that maybe they missed the high temperature, right? So at worst case, it could be higher than 4 degrees. So you can see also, we're going to talk about consecutive days. There are just a whole bunch of temperatures over 115 from 1951 to 1983 within Las Vegas. So let's look at those consecutive days. So on the left side is the international airport. Their run length is now 5 because they did hit that record, but you can see previously it was 4, set in 2024 and 2005. But on the right, you can see the run length at Sunrise Manor was 7 days, and the years for that was 1981 and 1961. And in particular, in 1981, it was in June. So they had a 7-day consecutive over 115 degrees or equal to in 1981. So the broader question is, why is the National Weather Service repeatedly giving us this information? And I'm not really, John Adair is not the only one. I do these routinely. I don't post them all. I have a huge PowerPoint that has a lot of it in there. But the National Weather Service is not being professional about their job. And why is it? Are they just looking for a sensational headline? I don't know. But I think we need to ask John Adair, because this is what he said. This is the most extreme heat wave in the history of record keeping in Las Vegas since 1937. Well, John Adair, why are you leaving Sunrise Manor out of the equation? It's in your database. That's shameful. You need to issue a correction or an explanation. This is the Cold War Sailor out.